everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Hope you had a great week. Today we are back in Paralives building on this very interestingly shaped lot. It's basically at the corner of like a major intersection or like where multiple roads connect, but it is such a weird shape. I've never seen a lot shaped like this. So I thought I would challenge myself to build a traditional red family style home on this lot. The only thing that I really struggled with building this house was the roof pieces. There is no way to like kind of adjust like the overhangs of the roof pieces or anything like that. And some of the shapes didn't line up entirely, even though they were all kind of placed the same. For example, like the one little roof piece out front here, you can see it doesn't quite line up with the main roof piece. I tried to like get around that by using a different one, but then I'm like, no, that looks worse. So we go back. But yeah, I just had to leave it like that because it just when I tried to get it to line up and I'm like, this is so strange. So it does not, but hopefully that will maybe be addressed in the future when we do finally get advanced roofing in Paralives. Just doing a little roof here over the porch, which again had some trouble there because I had that corner piece on the end there that you saw, and I'm like, okay, I guess we're flipping it this way and doing it that way. So it's a very weird shape on the front, probably not conventional at all, but the roof line is I'd say probably my worst roof line, but it's okay. I think it works well. It makes the house, gives it some interesting character. It is lifted up on a quote unquote foundation. It's basically just a kind of like another level to the house, but it's inaccessible because this lot shape, not only is it such a weird shape, but it does have like some terrain manipulation going on. This is where I was trying to figure out the wallpaper and like what color I wanted the house to be. And I settled on this like burgundy red color. Which I think looks really nice, and just trying to figure out what stone color I wanted to use on the foundation. So that's what we are doing now. The power poles on the back of the lot kept getting in the way, so I apologize for that. They do kind of block the view at times. And then I realized I forgot to change the color of the roof, so that required me to repaint all of the roof eaves back. And then this one was kind of like not lining up properly, but I did want to squeak a window in here. So I do make some adjustments a bit later to kind of get that. And I was trying to figure out the stairs. I think the stairs in the game need the most work. They tend to not snap where you want them to. Like there is this big gap here you can see, like, but it won't impact like your paras trying to access the house or anything. They'll still be able to get in. Same thing with like the back here. They just would not snap at first, and then finally it did. So I was happy that this one actually snapped compared to the front. Just kind of lining up some of the railings here and just changing the colors, and then we do a railing out front here. I do add some columns later on. I don't know if that's on camera, but I thought it was important to add some columns here because otherwise it just looks weird with the roof overhanging like that. So in the final version there is some columns here, but we're doing some painting. I did make sure to save often. But now just trying to figure out the floor plan on the interior and trying to figure out where the stairs go. And then I'm like, oh, this looks great. And then I realize, oh, I go upstairs and it's against the wall, which is kind of funny that it lets you even place it in the first place. But yeah, I was like, okay, so I guess we're going to try and flip it the other way and get it on the back of the house. The house itself has 2 beds and 1 bathroom. The only bathroom is on the second floor up here. And then there's the primary bedroom on the first floor, and then there's the secondary one up here, which is actually quite nice. There also is a home office / gym. I did add a treadmill. There's a computer, the weights for weightlifting. But it's a nice little home office. It's also an extra room, so if you really wanted to or needed the extra space, you could easily add a bed into the office space and kind of shift around some of the furniture and easily have another room. The kitchen is very tiny. It's off in this tiny room off to the side here, which is what I'm working on and putting together now. I went for like this soft bluish color, and then I'm just trying to figure out the layout of the cabinets. I did know I wanted a dishwasher, but we do end up swapping the side of the dishwasher here over to here to be next to the kitchen sink when we slot that in later. And then, of course, I put in the fridge, and then I had to move the window over just a little bit. And we had another window, which will be in front of the kitchen sink. And then I just kind of moved that down. We do swap out for a larger sink and just trying to position the dishwasher in here now. And then we have all of the major appliances. Even though the kitchen is quite tiny, it is fully functional and quite cozy, I think. If you did want to grab this house, it is available on the Steam Workshop. Here is that listing if you want to go get that. It is only 51,416 Paradimes, and again, 2 beds, 1 bath. This is the shower stall, or what will become the shower stall. We will get to that later. I just added a glass divider and did a separator, so that way I could have 2 different tile floors in the bathroom, which is actually quite nice to have that functionality here. I am adding a fireplace to the living room, and then we do a wall TV a bit later, but we're just putting in some of the actual furniture. So we have this nice little sofa, an armchair, and then I'm putting in some tables and a table, kind of like a drop table by the front door. And then we have the dining room table going in now. And you might think, oh, that chair is actually pretty close to the door. It's still okay. And then the pairs actually will use the other side because that's the side that the handle is on anyway. So it's kind of like The Sims. There's a certain side that like Sims will go out on a sliding door, and it's kind of the same thing. So that's quite nice, actually. I did open shelving instead of cabinetry in the small kitchen because I felt like if I did like overhead cabinets, it would just make it feel very cramped, and it already is pretty cramped and small, so I didn't want to do that. We did this nice blue color on the main living space, and then I went for this yellow color tile, but then I decided to only do it on the back wall. So I kind of found a like yellowy colored wallpaper, just doing an area rug in the living room, which I thought this matched the furniture perfectly. I was going for like a brown dark wood kind of theme in the living room. I really don't know. It just kind of worked out like that, and it just works so well. We're doing curtains now, which I went for white just because like the door trim and the doors and stuff are all white. So it's nice doing a little gallery wall here with some different size photos and photo frames. And I thought it was nice to have the cat. I kind of imagined that when Paralives does get like animals and stuff, this house would have a cat. And I kind of also imagined them to be like a book lover. Maybe they're like an artist. They write books or sell books. So there are a lot of books kind of scattered around, especially in the office, some in the primary bedroom. The office actually has its own little like library, and then you can see I placed some books by the front door drop table and then also by the table next to the sofa. We're now doing kitchen clutter, so I did things like the coffee, the flour, wine glasses, cereal boxes, spices, utensils, mugs and cups and plates and things like that, just to make it feel very lived in. We do a fruit bowl over here, some eggs, and then the knife block. And then I go a step further and I add some little potted plants on the windowsills, which actually is so nice to have that functionality. They just kind of snap right to it at the right height. And I did have to resize them just a little bit because they were clipping through the glass. But it's still so nice, and I think it's just such a cute little detail to have that. So yeah, I did resize them down a bit just to make sure they were not clipping as much. And it looks so nice from the outside too. And now we're doing some clutter on the dining room table. Later on, I do add a dining room table light, but that's not until the very end. I kind of forgot about it until I'm like, what else does this build need before I am finished? So it's kind of like my last breeze through. But we are now working on the office space. As you can see, there are 2 giant bookshelves. There is the weights and there is the treadmill. The treadmill, unfortunately, cannot be resized. It is quite massive. I do wish you could just shrink it just a little bit in size because it is a very big object. We're just doing curtains now. And then I was trying to figure out what wall color I wanted to have on the walls in here. And I thought it was nice to tie in this kind of like emerald green color that I used on the chairs to kind of make that happen. And then we're doing some paintings on the walls over here, and then we're going to do one over here as well, which I believe I did. No, I was going to say I thought I left the gym one there, the run, lift, whatever, but I did not. I just chose that kind of like abstract-y kind of painting, and we do a potted plant and then a little plant on the desk, and then we find some additional clutter related to fitness, but also books and things like that. I kind of imagine they were reading the newspaper and working here. They have little stacks of paper to jot notes down, an open book there. And yeah, we're now moving over to the primary bedroom, which is more of like a beigey creamy color, We have the bed going in now, and then 2 side tables. Again, I kept with the dark wood theme throughout the whole home. I think that was kind of nice to carry that over. Even though all of the rooms look different, there is that dark wood undertone. The only thing that isn't dark wood is the stairs, but that's okay because I wanted those to match the hardwood floor, which is a lighter color instead. Just figuring out curtains here on the windows in the primary bedroom, and then I opt for this nice resizable mirror. Nice full-length mirror there. We do a chair in the corner, a TV, and then I just place around some additional clutter. I forgot the fire alarm in the kitchen, which I thought was important, and then we're doing this random power box outside on the side of the house. Since the power lines do run right by, I thought it was quite nice to have that detail. Obviously, the house needs power. I mean, it doesn't do anything. It's not functional. It's strictly decorational, but it's okay. Doing a shoe rack by the front door, and then I put some bedroom slippers by the chair because I imagined a pair would come and take off their slippers at the chair, and then you can see I placed some additional books there and just a little plant, and that's about it. I do wish we had more clutter like cologne and stuff. That would be quite nice. I know this is a Paralives video, but I do want to quickly mention that The Sims is releasing the Music Den kit on Thursday, July 23rd, next week. And that's going to have new musical instruments like a new keyboard, guitar, and violin. I do kind of wish they would have taken the opportunity to do a drum set, but it appears the drum set is not a thing. So there is no drum set, which is unfortunate, but that's okay. It looks like to be a nice kit. We will be switching back to The Sims next week. Now that they're going to fix the roofs on July 21st's game patch. There's going to be a big base game update for The Sims, and they're going to finally fix the roofs. So hallelujah. So I'm looking forward to that, and we will build with the Music Den kit. I will also host a giveaway over on my Instagram, so if you aren't following me over there yet, the link is in the video description below, because that is where I will do the giveaway for the new Music Den kit, courtesy of the EA Creator Network. We're now doing the primary bathroom and the only bathroom in the house. I went for like a dark color in here, kind of like a dark gray charcoal. We do a nice little feature half wall, which I kind of used to kind of place objects on it. I did try to fit a tub in here, but the tubs are so massive and you can't resize them. I'm sure you could probably use like the advanced tools, but I didn't want to use those. I kind of want stuff to just still look and remain fully functional as is. So we didn't do that this time around, but maybe I'll try and kind of like experiment with that later, like to see how small you could get the tub before it looks weird, if you know what I mean. Like I didn't want it to look odd or anything if I resized it too much without actually like play testing. So I do kind of want to maybe check that out in the future. But the only bathroom is now done. So it just has the walk-in shower there. We're now doing the secondary bedroom, which I kind of imagined as like a teen boy's bedroom. So that's kind of what it's styled as. We have like the blue, but I guess it doesn't matter. You could really make it for whoever. I did tie in some of the wall art in relation to the fitness equipment downstairs. So they do have like a gym rat kind of like photo, which I thought was cool. And kind of ties that fitness storyline there because you already have the books and everything. So I imagine with the author, and then they have like a teenage son and they're into fitness or something. So yeah, just doing some wall art now on the walls. And then I was trying to figure out a color here, and I went for this like brownish color, which I think is so nice. It makes the room feel very elevated, especially with the blue bedspread and just the dark woods carried over, like again, throughout the rest of the house. And then we do some fun wall art over here. And then I find a backpack, some shoes, and just some cute little decorative kind of clutter, including this salt lamp. And then I found this other object that I wanted to place in the primary bedroom because I thought that would look so nice kind of stacked on top of the book. So we do that. And then I go for a yellow book bag and then just some blue shoes. And I did the Among Us little like plushie here on the bed, but also there's a little figurine over on the dresser. And we're now working on the hallway space, which I just put like a small console table out here, some wall art. We do a mirror on the far end, kind of a circular mirror, which is actually a really cool looking mirror. And then just some other decorative objects like this, like hand sculpture, some candles, and a potted plant. And then we put a nice little vase here in front of the window, which I was like, what is wrong with this window? Why is it like sticking through there so much? Didn't really realize what was going on until I went outside, and a couple of the windows on this side of the house were actually like in the wall too far, kind of like inset in the wall. So that's why they had such a thick border around them, which I thought was just so weird. But I did notice it and I did fix it. We're now doing the dining room table light, and I love being able to move lights up and down that kind of hang from the ceiling. It's quite nice. This is when I noticed the windows. I'm like, whoa, what is going on here? And then I just look around and they're all like that. And I'm like, oh, that explains so much of what was going on. But none of the other windows were like that. We do recycling and trash out front, and then we do a welcome mat, which I just left as welcome. Then the roof kind of did a weird thing there. And then we're doing some exterior lighting around the front and the back. And then I had to fix some more wallpaper there. And then I had to fix the terrain back here because I don't know why it was so much higher than everywhere else. And then we were continuing on the terrain painting with just some of the grasses and the natural flowers that kind of surround this lot. So it basically fits in because by default, this lot is basically just like dirt piles and like pipes and stuff. It's actually kind of cool, but I thought it was nice to build a nice little house up here. And yeah, we're just putting in some trees now, kind of matching those trees, but making them much smaller because they're quite large off the lot there. And then we're trying to find another tree out here, and I found this one, which is a slightly different style, but I quite liked it. So we just made it smaller, put a TV antenna on the roof, and then I find a chimney, and that is pretty much the finished build apart from adding the columns, which I did off camera. But here is the fully finished house. This is traditional red. Again, you can find it on the Steam workshop. My Steam ID is Simified or TheSimified. And it's just called traditional red. Kept it pretty simple. Didn't really know what to call it. I was going to try and call it like red farmhouse, but it's not really a farmhouse. It's just a traditional kind of red, nice playable family home. But yeah, I do hope you enjoyed this one. And I really do like how the interior turned out. It's very simple, very clean, but very cozy and compact, especially the living space and the kitchen. The kitchen, I think, is probably my favorite because it's just so like tight in there, but it is still fully functional. And I like just how it looks like with the lighting coming in and everything. It just looks so nice with the open shelving. And then my second favorite is probably the bathroom, just because you have the walk-in shower, you have that little half wall moment there with the clutter and stuff. And then the office actually is pretty cool here too, I guess. I guess the treadmill just takes up a lot of space, but it's okay. This is the primary bedroom again. And then we move upstairs and kind of finish off the build there. The hallway is actually quite nice. This is the other side of the hallway here. Just kind of kept it all open so Paris can easily navigate around. And then, yeah, this is the bathroom. Quite nice having that little half wall there. But anyway, I do hope you enjoyed this Paralives speed build. Make sure you give a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already. Comment below, let me know what you think. Hopefully you enjoyed this one. And I do thank you for watching, and I will see you very soon with another build.